Testing 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, what's up, dev heads? Welcome back. Yesterday we kicked off building our CS:GO building style shooter in Unreal Engine 5.6 using the gameplay ability system. I am currently using Gas Companion, and today we're gonna dive into more into Gas by adding abilities, working hopefully with game tags, setting up cooldowns, and perhaps even exploring things like regeneration, maybe stamina. I'll probably work on a sprint, or um, if we got time, we'll also get into sprint. Yeah. So that way movements feel more dynamic and whatnot. So if you're just joining for the first time, Gas is an Unreal framework that makes abilities and effects way easier to manage, and this companion plugin helps us get everything set up super fast. So stick around, hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss my series. So let's begin. Okay, so yesterday I went ahead and I added the ability system to this character. Everything replicates. I added health, mana, and stamina. I don't think we're gonna need health, so I'll go ahead and we won't need mana because this is not a fantasy game. It's more like a Counter-Strike shooter. So instead of deleting this text, I'll just hide it for now. Maybe we could always replace it with something else, but for now it's not needed. So I'll go ahead and put the stamina instead, because in Counter-Strike I believe, oh no, there is no stamina. So I guess we'll just add stamina to this game then. I'll be more like COD. So as you can see, health and stamina is there just for simplicity's sake. We also created this damage blueprint. So when we pass to it, we get damage by 10, and our character dies after that. I was also talking about how attributes are replicated. It comes out of the box, replicated for clients and servers, so you don't have to do a lot of replication. Go ahead and turn on immersive on. Perfect. All right, so let's begin with adding abilities. So I got a little head start, and I went ahead and work on a jump ability, but for now we're gonna start from scratch. Ignore this for now. So currently, right out of the box, the player and the gas companion, on the gas companion character blueprint that we created, we copied the third person template and added it here. So as you can see, this is the jump. Go ahead and compile, and it jumps like it's supposed to. Let me go ahead and create one player for now, so it will be less confusing. Yeah, this here. Okay, so first thing first, let's create an ability. So in order to do that, you could either do it through the content folder. I will recommend creating a folder, name it abilities. From here, you can create your own abilities system. Oh, well, your own abilities by going to, let's see, where do they have it here? Gameplay, gameplay ability blueprint. You can do it here, or you can go here and click on the ability system component module. Then you can go ahead and add it here. So we'll remove this one for now because I was working on it earlier. For simplicity's sake, what you could do is just create a new blueprint by hitting this plus sign. And we could put it in the abilities folder we just created and call it GA for game ability and underscore. And this is the way I like to do it. And I'll call it jump. I'll call it jump 2 because I've been working on it previously. So after you create a new blueprint, you have this on your screen. From here, I would recommend adding a tag because with gameplay, with the gas companion, tags is everything, and it's very convenient. It's like booleans, more than booleans actually, but later on you'll see how we can use and manipulate tags. For now, as you can see already here on the screen, every ability has a tag, so you can cancel abilities with tag, you can block abilities with tag, you can activate own abilities with tag. It's just lots of options that you could do. It makes game multiplayer game development much easier and fun. So for now, I'm gonna use the tag I created, which is ability jump. So this is gonna be an ability jump, as you can see. You could create your own tags here by going here, hitting the plus sign. Make sure you choose the source, and then you can name it ability period jump. Whatever your naming convention is, you could do action jump, action, or whatever you want to do. But I'm using ability jump. So once I create it, you'll have like these drop downs as you create more abilities. So for now, we're gonna assign ability.jump to this. Now here, you'll start working on your ability. All right, let me go ahead and open up the other one, the one I created previously, so you can see what I did. So first, you need to make sure you need to start with this node. It attempts to commit the ability. So it checks if like you have enough resources, like for example, if you have enough stamina or if it's being used. So this must be called first, anything. So let's go ahead and go back to our jump 2. Let's drag it here. So then it checks if we can jump. So we'll go ahead and start with the branch here. So with Gas Companion, you could use this node, returns the actor that owns this ability, which may not have a physical location, etc. So I like to use this. It's kind of like casting, like get pawn or get actor, but for gas, you use this. And instead of using BP, which you could use BP, gas, character. But I like to use character, which gas supplies gives me the ability to do it. Character, I think it's character. Cast to character, there you go. More simple, more universal. And here you can just hit jump. You can make the character jump. So for simplicity's sake, we're gonna start off with that. Okay, so also whenever you trigger an ability, make sure you also end the ability. Reason being is that if you trigger multiple abilities, you either like spam the game, or you'll have multiple instances of jump. I'll show you what I mean right now. So for example, let's say I hit play. Oh, but now we have to assign this to the third person character. So in order to do this, you have to grab the ability component and then drag out activate ability by class. Okay, that's important to do. So on trigger, we'll go ahead and play the ability. It's basically everything we did here, but put into capsules. That's the way I think about it. But it will become convenient once your game starts getting more complicated and complicated. If you're saying, well, I could just actually just do 2 notes and I'm done. Well, like I said, with the ability system, you can take advantage of what I just showed you earlier, which is this. You can use tags. So like, let's say you're using a major power up and you don't want to jump, so you can cancel abilities with tags. That this is the beauty about gas. You can do a lot of things like that. So that's why it's good to put them in all your actions in capsule instead of just doing this, which doesn't check for anything. It's very basic, very bare bones. If your game doesn't require a lot of checks, I mean, you can stick with this if you want. It's a simple game. But for now, we're learning about gas, so I'm going to teach you a little bit more. So let's go ahead and so every time you try to activate an ability by class, make sure you select it. So we're using jump 2. That's the one we're working on currently. So I compile and save. Now, that's not the only thing you need to do. You will also need to add it to the list here, because let's say you don't have it here. So each time you add an ability, just hit the plus sign. So you hit plus, plus, plus. So this character will have, as you can see, 3 abilities. But currently it's going to be empty, so we don't need it. So we can just, again, delete. And let's go ahead and add the new one. Jump 2. So let's for example, let's say if I don't add it there, you won't be able to jump, as you can see, right? We need to add it here. So we need to add it here to trigger it, and we need to add it here. So it's not being triggered. Oh, because I'm using jump 2. There you go. It needs to be jump 2. There you go. Now sometimes you don't know if the ability is being triggered or not. So again, I showed you in the last episode, always use show debug ability system. And as you can see, own tags on the left. When you jump, tags should be showing up on the left side. It's not showing up now. Let's see why. To see this menu right here, you could also, don't forget, once you create this ability, you have more options on the class default. So you have the ability to trigger this instance. So here's the instance policy. You could do it instance per execution or instance per actor. For the jump, I would highly recommend per actor. So each actor gets their own instance of this ability. Okay. You can set more options. You can set up local predicted, local only, server initiated. So much things you can do, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and compile. Hopefully I see it now. It's still not showing up. Okay, let's see. It's triggering, all right. Yeah, it is triggering. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and continue. Okay, let's continue with this. So this is the basics of jumping, but we would like to expand on it more just so I can show you more on what we can do. So let's go back to the one I just created. So here I added a wait input release. So right here, when we jump, we can wait for it to land and we can stop the jumping. So this basically just it waits until user releases the input button, and then it returns like it waits for a signal, and the signal we're gonna do is on landing we're gonna activate the signal, which should end which should stop the jumping right here. So let's go ahead and expand on our jump. Let's go ahead and create a variable. Promote variable, sorry. Okay. So let's go ahead and use this node to wait for us to land. And also, we will I like sometimes add a wait delay so we can end the ability. That way it won't be so instant. So for example, after the jump, let's wait 2 seconds and end the ability. So let's see if we see it now, because maybe it was too instant. No, still can't see it. Okay. Okay, so now we would like to end the ability on release. Perfect. So now where are we gonna send a signal to have this release? Well, I put it here in the gas character input. As you can see, there's an event called onLanded, which triggers every time your character lands. From here, we'll go ahead and send the gameplay event actor. Again, make sure you create an event. So for example, here we can do event, or we can first select the source. Then we put an event, then landed, and make sure you add this new tag. There you go. Now on the jump to, let's see. Let me look at the documentation real quick. Let's see, there should be an unlanded event that we can do. Okay, so it is an input release. So we'll end it here. Okay. Oh yeah, we can use it here. On landed, we can wait as well. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about. We have to replace this with the node wait game played event. Wait game played event. Wait. So this will wait till it lands. Make sure you add the proper tag here, which is event landed. We'll run this. On event receive, we'll also end the tag. As a matter of fact, we should do both of them on release. Instead of doing the timer, we'll just end the ability and we'll wait for it to land. And then on release, we'll stop the jumping as well. On event release, not on this top one. Okay. Perfect. Just double checking my work. Jump. On release. On landed. And ability. Perfect. Oh yeah, and don't forget to check mark only trigger once. All right, so let's say you wanted to add a cooldown or a cost per jumping. We can start doing that by creating a gameplay effect by clicking this plus sign here. Then we'll save it here for now. I like to name it GE underscore jump underscore cost. Let's go ahead and save that. From here, we can instantly subtract. I know you have to create a modifier. After that, what are we going to subtract? We're going to subtract the stamina because jumping costs stamina. So go ahead and select that. Then we're going to add. Then when you drop down modifier magnitude here, we add how much you want to subtract. We're going to add a negative. So let's go ahead and subtract 20 out of stamina. Let's test it out. And it's working. On the upper left, next to stamina, you can see the number dropping. And as you can see, now that we are out of stamina, we can no longer jump. Okay, which is what we need. So using those rules, let's go ahead and make a sprint. So to do that, we must create a new input. I'm fairly new to Unreal Engine 4 enhanced input system because my project's on Unreal Engine 4 and we don't have that, so bear with me. I believe most of the inputs come from the player controller here. We want this to be like COD or Counter-Strike, but I know Counter-Strike doesn't have stamina, but on this game it will have it just for the sake of learning gas. Let's see. Let's get the player controller. So here we're using the default. Perfect. I have to open the default. Let's go ahead and create a new one. Then we'll have to create a new action mapping, which we'll put it under input action, and let's call it IA for input action sprint. Save. Perfect. And we'll have to bind it to something. Let's go ahead and bind it to, I guess, shift. Yeah. Save. All right. So now let's create another ability. Well, no. First, let's go ahead and use the sprint enhance action event. Okay. Now we can create a new ability. Let's go ahead and create a new ability. So we'll go back to the ability component. Create a new one here. Let's go ahead and add a plus sign. Make sure it goes into the ability folder for the sake of organizations. I'm gonna call it GA Sprint. Let's go ahead and save that. Now we can start working on our sprint. So I guess before we do that, let's go ahead and activate it here. So we'll go ahead and drag out the ability system component. And from here, we're gonna go and activate by class. And then go ahead and pull it from the started pin. Then go ahead and select sprint. And again, make sure you also add it to your character blueprint. It should be, let's see, it should be here, which I already did. Okay, perfect. Now, let's go ahead and work on the sprint. So in order to work on it, we could just easily copy some of the stuff we did on jump 2. So first we start with the commit with the branch to check if if we are able to use it. Then we'll go ahead and get the owning actor from actor info and cast it to the character. So let's go ahead and do that just to cut shortcuts. Boom. All right. So we'll go ahead and from here, let's go ahead and promote the variable so we can use this variable. Then what we have to do is change, we have to get the movement speed, get movement speed. All right. We're I get the character movement, then we're gonna change the speed. Set, not get. Set max walk speed. There you go. Oops. Set max or set walking speed, I believe. Set max. There you go. By default, I'm assuming it's 642 600. Let's just double check here. Character movement, walking. So original walking speed is 600. So let's go ahead and make sprint, I don't know, 800. Perfect. And then on release, when completed, we'll just go back to 600. I'm gonna do a quick, also endability. But we don't want to trigger hit here. We need another wait. So for example, on the jump, we did a wait gameplay event where it triggers when it lands. For this one, we'll go ahead and copy that node. On event receive, we're gonna go ahead and end ability. What we want though is create a new one, and we will want it to call it event. Let's create a new one. Go in here, selecting the source. Event dot sprint. There you go. Let's go ahead and compile that. So upon releasing the sprint, we're gonna end the ability. So here we'll go ahead and copy this one like we did on the send gameplay event to actor. Here you go. Send gameplay to actor. Self. We'll go make sure we select the tag here. Sprint. Compile. Now let's see if it works. It's normal walking. Let's hit sprint, and yeah, it gathers speed. Not sure if you see it in your end, but it does get faster. I'll go ahead and increase it again so you can see it in your end more properly. Let's do 1,000. Compile, play. 1,000. Perfect. So now what we want to do is affect the stamina. For jumping, let's go ahead and change the cost to 5 because, you know, we like to jump in games, so 20 is a little too brutal. So 20 is fine. I mean, 5 is fine. For sprinting, we want it to sprint a bit more different. We want the cost to work a little different. So let's go ahead and go to class defaults. So this menu will pop up. Here, we're gonna add a cost gameplay effect class like we did in jump. So we'll go ahead and add one there. Again, for gameplay effects, I do GE. Then here, we're gonna do sprint and then cost. And here we save it. It's gonna open up the cause sprint effect. And from here, what we want to do is not instantly. I might be infinite, but I could be wrong. Let's see. Add a modifier. From here, we want it to subtract by adding negative. Let's do 10. Let's see what happens with this cooldown. Sprint. And nothing's getting subtracted because we haven't added an attribute. So make sure you select stamina. Let's go ahead and hit play. Okay. So I guess upon pressing it, that's not what we want. Let's go ahead and see how I did it in my video game, Bloodbound. So what I'm going to do is open my GitHub. And then we can replicate that. My avatar is not AI generated. It's just 3D generated, yeah. So, you just gotta practice. Start with small projects. Do a simple coin pickup, and then just go on from there. Just don't stop practicing. That's the key. Trying to remember what I did for sprint so I can give that effect. So go ahead and open my old project. Top of my head, I'm trying to remember. I know it was infinite. Yeah, I know. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and see what we did on sprint. GA sprint. Sprint. Okay. Let's do this one. So again, I almost did it. Set the speed here. Again, for gas, booleans are not required anymore. Let's look at the cooldown. So for period, I added this extra information. Let's see if we have it on the new Unreal Engine 5. Ah, okay. Maybe that's what I was missing. Let's see what else we're using here. Let's see what modifiers I added here. Execute periodic effect on application. Execute periodic effect. Okay, perfect. So it seems there's not much of a difference. There is more on Unreal Engine. So right here we added a float. Okay. On stamina we added that. So chances to apply target once. Like I said, there's a lot of things you can do with gas. You can even stack them, man. So again, let's go ahead and apply those effects there. Let's go ahead and hit play. Duration policy, I'm not sure if I saw that one on 4.27. Duration policy. Infinite. Okay. Same. See if it works now. There you go. See my stamina, how it drops? Only problem is that it does not end when I release it. So let's see why that is. We're not ending the ability properly. First, let's go ahead and check instance per character. Make sure you always set, most of the time, instance per character that you want that ability to set. We don't want multiple instances of sprint when you like tap sprint multiple times. So let's go back to the ability and make sure it's per actor, not per instance. I mean per execution. So again, let's see what happens now. Okay. When I let go of sprint, it's still going down, and we don't want that to happen. We need to end the ability properly. So, and it's not doing that. Let's see why. Let's see what I did on my other game. This is a good refresher for me. So here we have something that's waiting. We're ending the ability if it's on false, so I think we're doing that. We're ending wait gameplay event. You know, come to think of it, we could just let's see, end the ability when we let go of release. So like we did on the jump too, we use wait input and we could do this. Let's see if it works. Okay, so on release, we want to end the ability and we want to, let's see. Okay, so it might not have to do anything with ending the ability. Cost, infinite. Never reset. Something is stopping the ability. It needs to find out how to stop this cooldown. I mean, this effect. Sprinting. We're using a cost, which is here. Oh, let's see how the Let's see how the sprint is being called here. Okay, so let's see main. So we activate the ability by hitting press. On release, we end the sprint. Okay, we end the event. We're waiting for the sprint. So we're waiting for the call here. We end the ability. I'm wondering why I did this before the commit. Let's go back to the original. Sprint. The cause is here. There's must be a way to turn off the sprint. Let's see. Debug sprint keeps going down, which no longer lets you sprint. And you can't jump due to the sprint being low. Let's see. Let's go ahead and add a sprint ability tag. We forgot to do that. Every time you create an ability, make sure you add a tag. So ability, sprint, add tag. Here you go. Now this ability has a tag. Cause is affinity. Okay. Let's do trigger instead. Let's see what happens. No, it still triggers. Okay. So it ends the ability, but the effect does not go away. That's strange. And I know it's mostly because it's set on infinite. Once we have a duration, but we don't want instant subtraction. We want infinite. There resets period. Let's play around with this, see what happens. Nope. Nope. We need a way to cancel this. Let's see. Let's see what this does. No. Okay. Hmm. Let's see if that was that easy. Remove active. No. Okay. So ending the ability should remove the effect. So it's something is wonky here. Jump works on this one. Parents are the same. We'll go down here. Got a cost here. Sprint. Let's not end the task. Okay, this is the ability system. Let's move that over here. Blueprint, jump to. I said unsave. Why do they look different? I guess when you add them from the ability module, they look different. My sprint. Let's go ahead and create the gameplay here. Let's redo the jump using this. The sprint, I mean. by going to gameplay. Go ahead and create one here. By default, I'm gonna go with playability. Let's go ahead and do GA sprint. Sprint 2. Okay, we're gonna open this up. We're gonna add the tag ability sprint. Let's go ahead and copy and paste everything we did. Let's go ahead and promote this, compile. Let's do away with this for now. And then on release, we should end the ability. We don't need to end the ability quickly. Actually, you know what? Let's just not end the ability at all. I just want to see if it shows up on our console. Nope, tag is not showing up still. Okay. Commit, true, character, opponent, wait. Let's go back to our class. The tag is there. Oh, wait. Forgot. Need to add this to the third person character and make sure we're using the right one. Let's go ahead and use the same cost. No, let's not add no cost yet. We're going to go back to the character, make sure we use the proper sprint, the new one. Here, sprint 2. Let's go ahead and we also have to swap it out here too. Compile, print. Let's go ahead and debug our gas sprint. Nothing's being removed. We got jump working. Oh, we do not have a sprint showing up. That's weird. So that has nothing to do with this then. Got the ability tag set for jump. We added that. Default ability tags, that's fine. Let me see what I did on my project. Sprint. Activate own tags. That's probably the problem there. There you go. Now, as you can see, we have multiple sprints as we tap it because we don't have an end ability. So let's go ahead and add the end ability here on release. We should end ability. And we do not want it per execution. We want it per actor. So we have to go to the class defaults. Then instead of per execution, we'll do per actor. So let's see if it works. This is why the debug is tool, boys and girls. This is why it's very valuable. So we're gonna hold sprint, let go, sprint. So it only lets me do once. Perfect. But we do not end the ability because we haven't done. So Okay. Let's not use this for now. Let's go ahead and let's put this on the end again. Let's go ahead and end the ability when we release. Which we want. That. See. Yep. Working as it should. Perfect. Stamina is not going down because we didn't add the new we didn't add the game effect on this new sprint. So now, boys and girls, what I've learned is that not only do you add the asset, the new tag here, but you have to add it to the activation own tags here as well. So don't know why it worked here only, but just for best practice, let's go ahead and add it here. Jump. Go ahead and hit compile. It's all complicated at the beginning, but once you got the flow, things become so much easier. So anyways, now let's see if the cooldown works properly. Not the cooldown, but the cost. So going back to sprint, let's go ahead and hit class, and let's go ahead and select the cost that we made earlier, which is sprint cost. Compile, play. Let's go ahead and see if it works. Nope, still doing the same problem. Let's see. We have the sprint not being used. Okay. Well, at least we got the tags in. That's a start. Should be ending the effect on release. Let's see. Because in theory, when you end the ability, it should no longer, the effect should no longer take effect. Let me add a lot of end abilities just to see if I'm doing anything correctly. Yeah, that should not be the case. So this cost is not working how it should. Okay. See what I did on my project. I see. Removal tag requirements, state sprint. I think this is what we're missing. Let's go ahead and do that. So for the sprint, we did add another one here. State sprint. Let's do that. go to our class defaults. So I guess we forgot to add another tag. Um, Before I do that, let me see if doing this will work. For the cost, I added a ignore tags, remove tags. So Unreal Engine 4.27 gas pan is different. So this is why I'm most likely having issues. Must have tags. See what happens if we add that. It must have the ability sprint tag in order. Let's see. Yeah, it still doesn't go away. Okay. Okay. Sprint's not showing up anymore. Let's see why. File save. And there you go. Finally. So in order for you to get infinity effects tags working, so let's say you have a sprint ability and you want the cost to infinitely decrease your stamina. You'll you'll have to set it to infinite. Then you have to add a period. How fast you want it. If you increase this to one lower, slower, I guess. So if you set it to less than one, I'll increase more gradually. Just gotta play around with it, whatever suits your needs. Then after that, you gotta add how much you want to subtract. Now this is the part that got me confused. You must add a target tag. You must have a tag, obviously ability sprint. If not, if you don't have this, after you release the sprint, it will continue going down. So sorry it took me a while. I haven't used the new version of Gas Companion, but now I know you must have the ability here, the tag. Sorry. So now when I hit sprint and I let go, the stamina goes down. Okay, perfect. Now, lastly, what I'm going to do is just create a regeneration for our character. We want stamina to go back up once we're not jumping and once we're not sprinting. So now let's go ahead and look at our documentation and see what they did here for regeneration. Boom, 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 boom. No, it's on the bottom. Okay, so stamina regen gameplay effect. Now create a new gameplay effect and call it GE stamina regen. We set the duration to infinite. We'll affect the stamina. We'll add 5, I guess, and 0.2 seconds. Then this effect needs to be added to our character. So let's go to our character first. Then let's go to the abilities section, granted abilities. So we need to place it here in the granted effects. Right? Let's make sure before I fully commit. We have to add it to, where did I go? We have to add it to the, yeah, granted effects. I was right. So let's go ahead and create one. We'll have to go back to the character, granted effects. Let's add one. Go ahead and hit the plus sign. Just put it in abilities. Let's go ahead and call it GE for abilities for effects, and then we're gonna hit. We're gonna call it stamina, and then underscore regen. You could use your own convention, naming convention, but this is how I do mine. After that, we have to add a modular. We gotta set it to, let's see what they use. They used infinite. And then make sure your period would be 0.0, 0.2, sorry. Then we're gonna choose the attribute stamina because we want that to regen. I'm assuming they use 5. Yeah, magnitude of 5. So we're gonna add the magnitude of 5 here. Compile, hit play. Let's see. Stamina is 100. Yeah, it's going up, but it's going up too fast. Let me see what I did on my end. Don't laugh because I'm on an old engine, guys. All right, so let's see what we did for the ability system here, and let's see what granted effect. I did stamina regen as well. So the period I did was very low, so maybe that's why it was going too fast on the other game. Let's see. For this, it's the stamina regen. I did 0.02. Let's see if that helps. Oh no, that's going super fast. Let's go revert. Let's do one just out of curiosity. Okay, there you go. I guess the higher number, the slower. Yeah. Let's do 4. So that's the speed of how your stamina is gonna go up. So in other words, you can do 1, but make sure your float is set to like 1. Let's see. There you go. That's better. So make sure your magnitude is set to 1, so you can go, so you can increase your stamina by a float of 1, and then this is the period of how fast it will go up. So I'll do 2, or actually no, 0.5, because I do like the fast effect. See, I like it going up fast. Let's do, yeah, that's fine. There you go. I like that, but I like the fact that it's going up gradually, not by 20. There you go. Now, let's see why my jump is not working. Jump, jump. Let's remove this here for now. We have a cooldown. Oh, this is something we didn't go over, but you could also make a cooldown effect by hitting the plus. I'll quickly go over it. Then here we can add a duration, how long you want your cooldown to be. For this, for the jump, I added 5 seconds. It seemed kind of long, so I'll just change it to 3. And make sure you add the tag, the jump tag here. So upon that, you hit compile, hit play, and every 2 seconds you should be able to jump. 1, 2, jump. Also, let's see. So now jump will use stamina, and so will the sprint. See? Now that the stamina is very low, we can no longer jump, because I believe it uses 10 or 20 stamina points. 20. And just to verify that, we can see the cost on the jump. Jump, yep, -20. Perfect. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. We explained our shooter with new abilities, cooldown, tags, and even laid the foundations for regeneration. So, gas really makes this so much easier compared to building everything from scratch. Sorry I got stuck along the way. I'm relearning this. I haven't touched gas for like years. So, next time I'll be pushing forward again, maybe polishing sprint and setting up so a timer, so I could start getting into a CS:GO type of game. I'll set up a timer, perhaps spawns, while continuing to learn gas on the process. Um, Probably even add some UI to track health. I mean, not health, but ammo. So if you had fun hanging out, don't forget to like and subscribe. Um, keep an eye out for my future live streamings. All right. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys later.